Show. I'm your friend Cameron Tyler. I'm so happy you're here today. We're coming to you from Dude IDK Studios in Denver. And I have to say, today's definitely one of our more unique episodes. And I'm so excited to be welcoming Denver's, honestly, I would say one of the more popular drag queens in this whole city. His name is Kaptain Inherpants, or really, your real name is Kyle.
Kyle, yeah.
But you will probably know him as Kaptain Inherpants.
Yep.
Captain with a K.
Captain with a K.
Which I love.
I know. Cameron with a K.
Kyle, we have a lot to talk about today. I feel equally compelled to say we go way back, and also this is our first real conversation ever.
Yes.
They're both kind of true, which we will totally get into. But before we do that, for our friends at home who don't know you, how would you introduce yourself in 10 words or less?
So I am Kaptain Inherpants. I am known as a Denver-based drag king, also a photographer. I'm like a jack of all trades, and I get paid for some.
Ain't that always the way it goes? Tell me about it. That's a great way to open up this episode. If you close your eyes, what's the color of the aura in the room right now?
Like a lavender. Like it's warm but cool at the same time.
Okay, I love that.
Welcoming.
Oh, thank God. That's what we strive for at the Cameron Show.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get right into this.
Head first.
I'm going to just start this whole thing. I just told you right before we started filming, I actually wrote about you in my book.
And I had no idea.
And you had no idea. So what I'm going to do, and this will really introduce our friends at home to who you were to me.
Okay.
And let's just go from there. So this is from a chapter in my memoir called Seismic. And this is the chapter where I'm talking a lot about when I was in church, our former church, New Beginnings. It was a Pentecostal church, and we were both members of the teen. I don't think our youth group had a name.
If it did, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was just the youth group at New Beginnings. And one of the things that we did as a youth group is we went to summer camp. And so we were both at the summer camp, and on the last night of the summer camp, there was a dance, and it was cowboy themed. We will post the picture on @CameronShowPod on Instagram.
I found the picture.
Yeah, he had the picture, and honestly, I had seen the picture and I couldn't find it, so I was really glad that you found it. And then we actually recreated the picture, which we'll talk about later. I love that. We'll actually post them side by side. But
the glow up.
It's total glow up.
Yeah.
This is from that chapter, and it's talking about the dance that happened at the end of the week that was Western themed. And I'm just going to read this. And I told Kyle, I'm going to read this, and you can tell me very truthfully how accurate or not accurate it is. I did change Kyle's name, the one person in my whole book that I did without asking, because we were not in communication. So here is what I wrote. The next day, any anxiety that had been alleviated came roaring back. To celebrate our final night at camp, there would be a big Western-themed dance. All the boys were encouraged to ask a girl to go as their date. Wedo asked one of the pastor's sisters, which she was a sweetie. Do you remember her?
I do.
Anita?
Yeah, Anita.
Yeah, she was so sweet. Jennifer was asked by a boy from another church. I do not remember his name, but he was a little cutie. Tiffany and her friend Raquel decided they would attend alone together. I had no idea what I would do. Fortunately, there was only one person at that camp who came off as gay as I did. For every feminine trait I had, Shauna had a masculine one. It was in the way she walked, talked, sat, and even prayed. As the dance neared, I asked if she wanted to go with me. She seemed as relieved as I did, accepting my invitation. This is when I did have the picture. I have a picture of Shauna and me from that evening, posing in cowboy hats near a few bales of hay with the cheesy smiles a camp counselor made us put on for the camera. Looking at it from here, a couple decades into the future, the photo finally makes me happier than sad. For a long time, I could only see the dread behind my dimples, but now I know that we both came out on the other side, so to speak. Shauna is long gone. A proud man named Sean lives with truth in her place, as happily as I live in mine. What do you think?
I think it's heartwarming. Like I was trying to like recall back to that time at the camp,
Yeah.
and I don't know, maybe it's repressing like the crap that I don't care about anymore. So like
Yeah.
I was trying to like dig up the memories on it,
Yeah.
and
I would love to know what you remember from that.
I don't remember a whole lot. I really don't.
Do you not remember a lot specifically about that week or like in general that era of your life?
Just in general. Like I guess I
Really?
try and like use my brain power to focus on a lot of other things that are far better.
Yeah.
But I do remember going to camp. I feel like I was always busy, especially because my parents were so involved with the church.
Incredibly. That was you were way deeper in it than I was.
Ooh.
And I felt like it deterred my life. I'll say what I remember about you during this era. What I remember about you during this era, your family was very involved in this Pentecostal church. Your mom and dad, you were there every Sunday morning, twice.
Yep.
And our youth group was like on Friday nights.
Yep.
So also you were there.
Plus Bible study, choir practice, and prayer group. So
yeah, like this church was
Good
hardcore. Kyle was in it way more than me. I was only there on Fridays and Sundays, which for us, that was not very often. What I remember most that I found most striking at the time was that your parents didn't like you listening to secular music, non-religious music.
They tried to push it so much.
That is like the one thing that I don't know why, but it's always stuck with me because I was like, oh my God, they can't even, like you and your sister, I remember we would like talk about musicians and you'd be like, I don't know, I don't listen, I can't.
Yep, they ruined it for me. Me being a DJ also now, like having to like
my God,
relearn culture because I wasn't a lot, like I didn't get to listen to it a lot when I was a kid. The only time I really got to listen to like secular music was at school or at a friend's house. I don't know. Do you remember Brooke?
Kind of.
Brooke Smith that I used to bring with me because I was
Yeah.
like trying to convert her to the other side.
Yes. Yeah,
she actually
I
probably
do.
did more converting for me than anybody else because
That's-
I would go to her house and we would like, you know, she'd have on like MTV and we would watch things that I wasn't allowed to at home.
oh my God, corruption.
Down the street over her at her house.
That's so interesting. How long were you at that church? Because you were there before I ever went. I started going when I was 15.
We started going to that church when my grandfather passed, and my grandfather on the other side of my parents brought us to that church because he was also a Pentecostal pastor. So that was why we had like the services at New Beginning, and then we started going to church there, and many years down the road until I finally like we as a family kind of left the church and went to another church for a while, and like, you know, but too long. Long story short,
how old
too
were
long.
you? Were you raised Pentecostal since you were a baby?
No, I was not really raised with religion prior to that, which I think was like maybe 2000 and I want to say 2,
That's shocking to
2005.
me.
I don't really.
Your parents were so in it, I just assumed that was your whole entire life.
No.
And how old are you now?
33.
Okay, so you're only a year younger than me.
Mhm.
So we're pretty close in age.
Yep.
And I started going there when I was turning 15. So you were like 14 when I started going there. So you'd already been there a while.
Yeah.
You were established. You were already friends with everybody. And yeah, I just remember that you were there the entire time I was there. I came after you and I left before you did. So I would love to know, like, that era, there's two things that are interesting to me. Number one, you knew me during my brother Cameron era, which is an era that a lot of people who know me now, when I tell them about it, they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I had a Pentecostal era and it lasted for 2 years. And the thing, I've obviously never told you this, but the thing that I wrote about in the book, and I've said it on the podcast before, I left because of a sermon that I don't think it was Tony. I think it was Bernie, who was like the main pastor.
Mhm.
for the church. He once was giving I don't even know if you would call it a sermon or, I don't know, a spiel. And he said, and it was to the youth group though, which is why sometimes I'm confused because I don't know why he was talking to the youth group because usually that would be Tony. But I remember very specifically Bernie talking to us about fornication. And he said, if you fornicate, you'll go to hell with the liars, the thieves, and the homosexuals.
Yep. That was, he used to repeat that phrase all the time.
People think I'm lying about that. I'm like, no. He really said that.
Yep. And it was like fire and brimstone. Sometimes he would throw in like, you'll burn in the fires of hell and the brimstone. And like, he would go in on that.
It was serious. And they had these hardcore beliefs. And it's so funny to look back, by the way, because I would estimate that a third or a half of us all turned out to be queer.
Sure did.
I mean, it's more than just me and you. We know there were others.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, 1,000% there were others. I mean, I won't name names, but like, there's at least one other trans person.
Yeah. I don't know if that is, but I do know like several other trans people that are in my circle in my life now that are also former Pentecostals.
It's so fascinating to me. It's so fascinating because at the time I remember thinking like, or feeling like there's no way out of this. And now I look back and I'm like, actually, we are all so much bigger than that little era in our lives. I want to know how you ended up getting out because you were so much further in. And I think obviously now we've established you are trans.
Yes.
I am gay. So we both have exited the Pentecostal church just to catch everyone up. And now we are living our lives.
Happily.
Yeah, we were still living our lives. It was just a lot more depressing. It was a lot more depressing in 2005, 6, 7. How did you finally get out?
I left for college. Ironically went to a Lutheran college, which was still like extremely, well, it wasn't a Lutheran college at the time. They were transitioning from a religious school to just a private school in Nebraska. And I had a full ride lacrosse scholarship. So I got to leave home. And once I finally left my parents left the community that I was with and was allowed to now explore an entire new society.
Yeah.
I realized that my parents' beliefs, the beliefs that I was taught in church, they don't have to be my beliefs. And that I could just make my own decisions in life and that I should trust my own judgment of what's right and what's wrong. And that I am a good person regardless of what the Bible or my parents or the church thinks of me.
Yeah. Regardless of how they interpret the Bible.
Right. Which I don't know if you remember.
Does the Bible even say that? I don't know.
It does. There's a scripture that says, how do you interpret the scriptures? And you're supposed to interpret it for yourself.
Exactly.
But then it's being told to you from the pulpit by someone who's already done that. And now they're telling you that you have to listen to the way that they interpret it.
Exactly.
So
it's so funny to me because I'm like, I hear things like don't say God's name in vain, and like those are actually the people that I'm convinced are saying his name in vain. Like if you're twisting him into a hateful figure, you're actually the one saying God's name. And I'm not even a Christian anymore. Like I'm saying that is they're just hypocritical. But I could go on about that all day.
Oh yeah.
So you go to college, and it's so funny that you say this because I'm thinking you're saying that I finally got out of that and saw like that the world could be this way, and you were still at a religious school in Nebraska.
Right.
So even then, that should illustrate to people how niche our church was. Where you can go to a Lutheran church or a Lutheran college in Nebraska, and that seems like you're getting out of the whole of religion.
It was also like probably the people that I and the people that I met and like the impact that they had as well. You know, I started to form my own little like new community and then, you know, met other queers.
And that's what I want to know about too.
And then eventually it got to the point where I realized my queerness in that space. And it started to finally become too much queerness for a Lutheran space, which is a big part of why I left after only a semester out there.
Whoa,
and I came back to Colorado. I was going to go to school realized school's really expensive without having a scholarship. So I ended up joining the military.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
I was waiting to get to. I didn't know if you knew.
I did not know that you were in the military.
5.5 years in the Army.
Oh my God.
I thought I wanted to be a cop.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I didn't end up going that route. I was.
Wow.
I worked in intelligence. I traveled a little bit, not a lot. I spent most of my time in either Texas or California. I learned Russian.
What?
To do like
This
the
is
secret
shocking
squirrel
to me.
stuff. And
So this is your
Yeah.
early 20s.
yes.
Was spent in the military, in the Army.
Yep.
Okay. So I will say, in your early 20s, this would be post Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
It was immediately after Don't
Yeah,
Ask,
like
Don't
right
Tell.
after, because that
Yep.
ended in like 2011 or something.
Yeah.
And
It finally was actually like done away with fully, more close to like 2012.
yeah, the government, things always take a long time.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. So talk to me about your, like, that's so interesting to me, because it's like you did a semester at this religious college, then you go in the military for
Mhm.
5.5 years. All the while, how are you developing or learning about your own queer identity? Like, what was the journey? Did you do the thing where you're like, at first you're like, I'm gay? Or did you immediately jump to like, no, this is more than a sexuality thing, it's a gender thing too? How did that work for you?
It started with the I'm gay.
Okay.
Which I didn't tell my parents until I left for the military. Literally, like right as I was
Oh my
shipping
God.
off to basic training, it was, oh yeah, Mom, Dad, by the way, I'm gay. Bye. You can't do anything about it now.
So after college, before military.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And so this is just so crazy to me. What were your parents' reactions to that?
Surprisingly, my dad was more accepting of me, not it. Still,
Yeah.
like love the sinner, hate their sin kind of thing.
That was completely the ideology at our church,
Yep.
by the way. They would always be like, you are going to burn in hell, but we love you.
We still love you.
And
We'll
I
still
swear
break
to
bread
God,
with you.
I swear to God, that is actually more traumatizing
In some ways,
in
yeah.
some ways than just saying like, we hate you. Because then my whole thing is when they say like, we still love you, it gives
But do
a
you
young person this like, yeah, exactly, this confusion of like, well, they love me, so they clearly want what's best for me. And are they right? And it's so much harder if it's so much easier, I guess, to like disregard if they're just like, we hate you now. But yeah, our church was very much like, love
Off
the
the deep
sinner,
end.
hate the sin was like their favorite thing to say.
it was like MAGA.
It was like MAGA before MAGA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very that. But
Which,
like less
during those
outwardly
time-
hateful.
During those times, you might have already left the church by then, but like there was a group of us that went to a Trump rally.
Oh
I know. This was
What?
forever ago.
Oh
And people
my
are going to
God.
see this and be like, "Oh, we knew it." Yeah, back then.
God. I didn't
But I
know
was so
that. I
in-
was definitely
It was
gone by
so
then.
indoctrinated into. I
Oh, it
think it was
totally
people
was.
from the youth group that went, and this was like the first version. Way back,
Oh my God.
way back.
Way back, like Obama's from Africa way back.
Yes.
Yeah, like that era of Trump when he
Yes.
first came onto the scene. That actually doesn't surprise me because, of course, it's rare that a church or any place would have homophobic, transphobic, queerphobic undertones and not have racist undertones too.
Which
I
they
mean,
did.
Yeah, they did. There were also
yeah.
there were no black people at that church.
I think there was one or two that came through the church at some point.
Oh, at some point. Well, I was there were none. I don't remember any, but I mean, it was obviously a lot of brown people because it was the north side.
Yeah,
But or now the Highlands. But
it's the north side.
yeah, it's the north
we're not
side to
judging
me.
you.
I
We are
literally-
currently in 5 Points. We are not
And-
right now.
That is right. We are in 5 Points. Say her name. But it's so interesting to me that you go into the military then, and
Yeah.
then you're out as gay. So did you date women?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. And actually, like in the military, surprisingly, was less judged and more accepted than I had been in the churches and in other communities.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it was a. I don't care. Can you like? Do you have my back if we're in war? Can you take out the enemy and protect my back? Yes. Okay, then we're good. I don't care.
Wow.
At least to my face. They might have
Yeah.
said things behind my back
Oh
when
yeah,
I didn't know.
totally.
That's fine.
But you
But
never feared that your job was in jeopardy.
no.
It's, I mean, and again, it was after Don't Ask, Don't Tell, but barely.
Yeah.
So I was curious because I was just like, wow, that is really cutting it close.
While I was in basic training, we weren't allowed to watch TVs, but like they have them up and the news would be on and we'd be like trying not to show that we're like watching.
Wow.
And it popped up on the news that they had repealed the Defense of Marriage Act, which federally made gay marriage legal.
Oh yeah, because that was 2013 or 14 or 15.
And everybody just started cheering in the cafeteria.
Yeah, you were in the military for that too.
Everybody was like, when it came across the TV, we're like, oh my God, look. And everybody started cheering in the cafeteria.
Did you have a queer community in the military?
We did. It was
Wow.
pretty easy to spot the other queers.
Really? Okay.
I don't know how,
always
but we
so
just
curious
found each
about
other.
that because I obviously will never know from firsthand experience. Never
Or at
did
least, at least from the experience that I was on. It might have been
Yeah.
different for a cis male that was in the military.
Yeah, that's
That might have been
actually
more down low,
interesting.
but yeah, that's the patriarchy. of
Yeah, that's
things, but-
patriarchy. That's the valuing of masculinity
Mhm.
over femininity or perceived.
It's okay for
Wow.
lesbians to do it, but for
Yeah, that's actually so
Men to do it.
interesting to me. Wow. So were
one,
you-
oh, that's hot. The other, oh God.
yeah, I mean that doesn't shock me that would translate into the military culture. So okay, so you spend 5.5 years in the military.
Yep.
By the time that you get done in the military, then I'm guessing that's ironically around the time Trump got elected the first time.
I got out in
Or a little
2018.
After. Oh, so during his first term.
Ugh.
Yeah. Why did you get out? Why did you decide to leave?
I've actually got injured. I've had wrist surgery, shoulder surgery.
Oh,
I've
wow.
got herniated discs in my back.
Oh, I've
Um,
had that. It sucks.
The
It's
list is
worst.
long enough that I have like I'm 80% disabled from the VA.
Oh, okay.
So it was a medical discharge.
He's a CPS vet.
And I said, absolutely, I'm out. Thanks.
Yeah.
I get a check every month. Sure.
Oh my God. I never knew any of this. I mean, and a note to the viewers and listeners at home. During this time, no contact. As soon as I left the church, never saw you again.
Yep.
I never saw a lot of people again. Once I got out of that, because on my side of things, I left the church
Mhm.
as soon as that comment was made, because when that comment was made, I had come out a week earlier.
Ooh, so it was fresh.
It was fresh, and he said that. I went home. I told my mom, I'm not going back anymore.
Did you think it was like a personal dig at you? Like that, like somebody had told him that that happened and maybe that like you felt it was targeted?
This is actually going to make me emotional, but I'm going to tell you this story. Before I left the church, you remember how close we all were as a youth group. We were we were there. You were there even more than me.
Yeah.
I was there every week, though, twice a week. And our youth pastor, Tony, I really won't ever say anything bad about him. I think that he misled, but I think that he had good intentions. I even wrote in the book, I feel like Tony and his wife, we were just discussing, I don't know if it's still his wife, but Tony and his then wife, Charlene, they were our youth pastors, and I really felt like they had very good intentions, and I feel like they really cared about us, and I really feel like they believed in what they were teaching us and that they were saving us from something. So anyway, at this time, as I'm sure you remember, I was extremely close, attached at the hip with my cousin Watto. That's the reason I went to that church.
Yeah.
Watto was there before me and after me as well. And I remember one night in 2007, so a year before I came out, because I'm unlike you. You were just saying you forgot a lot of this era. I remember everything, like photographic memory. It's crazy. That's how I was able to do this. There was a night that Tony had Watto, Roger, remember Roger?
Oh, I do.
And me go do like
What, laser tag?
some kind of activity, laser tag or parade of lights, or it was Christmas time.
Okay.
And then we went back to his house and we like stayed up till 4 a.m. watching movies in the living room, passed out on the living room floor. And I remember I woke up when he was on the phone the next morning. Shar was out of town and he was talking to her on the phone. And this is why I have such conflicting feelings about this, because I remember him telling her on the phone, and Cam is so funny. He's so funny. And you know how he talks kind of funny, and you know how he kind of is funny, but he was making us laugh last night. And it was so weird for me to hear, because this was in that era where I knew I was gay, but I was afraid to come out. And this is what I'm talking about, where it's like I'm getting mixed signals, where he's like talking to his wife about me, saying how much he adores me and how funny I am and how I make him laugh and how I was making everyone laugh. But at the same time, he's saying like, because there's this thing that's off about him. And I know his feelings about being gay are, you're doing a sin. It's something that's, you know, you can overcome this. Like, his idea of what is off about me is so wrong.
Right.
But at the same time, I know he adores me. I never felt that way about Bernie. Bernie, I do believe it was an attack. I do believe he said it on purpose. I do believe when I came out, he knew about it. And on the flip side, you're right. He said it all the time.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but I felt that way. So it's the last thing he ever said in front of me. I think I went back to New Beginnings once because my sister got married at that church in 2013, and I went for that. And I think they might have also done a service when Watto died that I might have gone to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of do. But I left that church. I didn't see anyone from that church, obviously, except for Watto.
Right.
And then I saw them maybe like one more time after Watto died. I remember after Watto died, I went to Tony and Char's house for like a visit. I don't remember why. I think because I just a grieving thing. Saw Roger then, and that was it. I didn't see them anymore. Are you still in contact with anyone from that church?
None.
Same. Yeah.
Like literally none. I don't even talk to like people from high school. I don't talk to people from the military.
Wow.
Like I've left
from the military.
Yeah. Like I don't, you know, most people when they get out of service, they're like, oh yeah, I have all these people that like I served with and they were like super close with them. And I was like, not really. No.
That's surprising to me.
Like when I got out of the military and moved back, it was just like clean slate for me to realize who I actually am and to become that person and to leave everything else behind.
Yeah, so talk to me about that. So the whole time you were in the military, you're basically identifying as lesbian.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I even got married.
Wait, oh my God. I swear, this is exactly why, and we'll talk about it still, but we ran into each other at
And I asked you, I was like, do you want to catch up before it all? And you were like, no. And I was
know.
like, okay.
And I was
bet.
like, I know that there's going to be stuff I don't know. Save it for the show. So I am very shocked by this news. You were married while you were in the military?
To a woman. Yes.
To a woman.
Mm-hmm.
While you were in the military.
Didn't last long. We stayed married on paper way longer than we were like actually together. Cheating ass hoe.
Was she in the military?
Yeah. We were in the military together.
You were both in the military. Mm-hmm. When did you get married?
2013.
Oh, wow. Where?
I was in California in Monterey.
Wow.
And I was going to be graduating from the Russian program. And if we wanted to stay in a relationship, which was at the time long distance, we had to be married for the military to move us together. So we got married. And then I ended up in El Paso, Texas.
Of all places.
With her. And then she
oh my God.
cheated. And I don't know how that all worked out with her cheating relationship, because then she ended up she cheated on me with another woman, but then got pregnant before we even got divorced.
Oh, this is tea.
Which in Texas, I was married to her for like majority of the pregnancy.
Whoa.
Obviously it's not mine.
That is crazy.
And I was like, you are not about to pin me with some like child support bullshit
no
because
way.
I was married to you while you were So she got in a lot of trouble for that. because it's
Wow.
illegal in the military to have an affair.
Oh my
Like you
God,
can
I
get
didn't even
like
know
serious
that.
trouble for having an affair in the military.
Wow, I didn't know they
Yeah.
got into your business like
Oh
that.
yeah.
I guess I'm not
Well,
shocked.
sodomy's still illegal in the military.
Oh my God. Wait, really?
Yes.
Wow.
They keep it on the books more so for like other reasons. So
Yeah.
they can still prosecute for other things.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's still there technically in the
Wow.
Uniform Code of
The
Military
more you
Justice.
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
That you wish you didn't have to know.
Yeah, I wish I didn't have to know that. And I feel like I probably don't have to know that,
No,
but
you don't.
now you know at home. If you're in the military, don't let them find out.
No,
Just
that
kidding.
stuff. I'm kidding.
When you got married, did your family go to the wedding? Did you have a
No.
wedding?
We had a little ceremony like on the beach with friends, and that was it.
What was your family's reaction?
I don't think they were surprised, but they also weren't very supportive.
No.
We didn't really.
Did they meet her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Briefly.
I've obviously heard you talk about your parents. Do you have
Mhm.
a relationship with your sister still? You had a younger sister.
I did, yeah. We still stay in contact. Not as much now. She's going religious, I think, a little bit right now with a new boyfriend. So we'll see how much we stay in contact, unfortunately. But she worked at X Bar for a while. She was the coat check and the bathroom attendant at X Bar, and was just like involved in our community for some years.
I did not
our
know
community
that.
now community, not
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And then but she's got 2 kids.
Okay.
Um,
That mostly makes me feel old.
right.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So you get married, you get divorced, you get out of the military,
Uh-huh.
you come back to Colorado.
Yes.
Is this when you are like, actually, I'm trans?
I still had a little bit to figure out.
Okay, how did it come about? How did you get there? That's
So
actually a really long time that you lived in that space in between.
yeah.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I need to know. How did you get there?
When I got back, I was like, I have to find, a job. And so I was reaching out to like old connects that I had from before leaving for the military. A friend of mine that I used to work with at a hospital who was lesbian, had a wife. And I was like, I'm looking for work and just like connecting with people. And she's like, yeah, come on out with us to this bar for some, like, I think it was like a speed dating thing. And then like I went to drag shows at a establishment that we no longer as a community support is gone.
Oh.
Blush and blue.
Rip.
Yeah. But that was where I started to get back into get back into having a community and getting connected with the gay scene in Denver.
Yeah.
And then, from there I'm going to Trax and X Bar and other places.
Yeah.
And just kind of
So
dove
was
in.
it drag?
Drag was a big draw.
Were you
sure.
a drag king before transitioning?
Yes.
Okay. So Kaptain, was that a gateway?
It definitely was. I literally did drag one time on Cinco de Mayo back in 2018 was my first time performing in drag. And I was like, this feels more right than I've ever felt before.
Whoa.
This
was that the light bulb moment?
That was it was the light bulb. Yeah.
Cause like when I knew you, I mean, I even wrote it in the book, like for every feminine trait I had.
I think for me, it was finally when I had the light bulb. Everybody else already saw the neon lights.
See, that's so fascinating to me because it's not the same for everybody, obviously. And like when people ask me about how I knew I was gay, and again, sexuality, gender, 2 different things. But like, I'm always like, knew since I was 2 years old. Some trans people will say they knew since they were 2 years old.
I mean, I kind of knew.
You kind of know, but like for the light bulb moment to happen after all of these things.
So much.
Well, I think it also says a lot about, I think for a long time I held resentment against a lot of things, but specifically New Beginnings, because I felt like it put a stop to my trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
I even wrote that. I even wrote in my book, like, I was ready to come out earlier, and starting to go to that church interfered.
Which was their intention.
Which was completely their intention.
That was what they wanted.
And for you,
it lingered way longer.
In there way more entrenched and deeper than I ever was. So I guess in a way it's not shocking, but like how you were what, like late 20s by this point.
Yeah.
Wow. Tell me about the name. Obviously, I'm assuming as a millennial that Kaptain Inherpants is a play on Captain Underpants.
It sure is.
Which was a popular book series, Scholastic, probably.
That I wasn't allowed to read, for the record.
Oh, yeah, that you weren't even allowed to read. The rest of us were seeing them at the Scholastic book fairs.
Right.
How did you come up with that name?
When I was in college in Nebraska, I obviously, for the first time, was able to explore the concept of drinking.
Yeah.
And Captain Morgan was my beverage of choice, Captain and Coke. And I would literally just like walk around pouring people shots of Captain.
Okay.
And so I ended up getting like a nickname of Captain, and it sort of stuck, but I spelled it with a K because Kyle, Captain, other name, Captain, started with a K. So I kept the K for Captain. And then when I started drag, I was like, I want to keep that nickname of Captain, carry it over, but make it something that's punny, of course.
Yeah, of course, as one does.
Yeah. And then fast forward to when I was legally changing my name.
Yes.
I actually asked my parents if they would help to pick a new middle name for me. And they outright refused. They said, no, we named you what we did for a reason. I was like, cool, then I'm going to ask somebody else. So I asked my little sister, and she was like, use Captain. So a Captain is my legal middle name.
Oh, really?
And I don't mind it.
Oh my God, no, I love that. You know, one of my friends...
When a venue writes me a check that's for Captain, I could still cash it.
Well, I actually really love that. I also think that Captain is a very cool name. Like, honestly... Why are more people not naming their kids Captain? It sounds like a cool name. I don't know. Especially with a K.
Right.
Those of us with Ks in our names take it very seriously.
Yes.
Captain is with a K. Cameron is with a K. Kyle's with a K. When I wrote my first book, I literally named my character Lucas with a K.
With a K.
So I love that, obviously. I think it's unique. I mean, no one has the name like that. I love that so much. Okay, so this is very interesting timing because I feel like you get into drag, you have your light bulb moment, and I'm hearing that this was approximately less than 2 years before the global pandemic.
This is also when I finally got to meet and interact with other trans people.
Yeah.
And understand their experience and understand what transitioning actually was. Realizing, you know, eventually that this is something that I wanted to do. So I started my transition. And
wow. Before COVID.
Before COVID, yep.
Okay. So you got to like be out in the world and doing all of this before that happened.
Yes.
I was going to ask if that like put any kind of roadblock. I mean, obviously on performing.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, performing in COVID was wild.
Yeah, what a weird time.
I don't know if you ever went out to any drag shows during then, but like we had to wear like these weird clear plastic masks.
I'm like having... Now this is the part of my life I've blocked out, I guess, because I just had like a flash. I haven't thought about those in 6 years. I do remember.
Oh God, those were horrible.
They looked like welders' masks.
Yeah.
They were just like clear shields for your whole face.
Yeah. And like tracks, we had to like... The audience had to be like 20 feet away from the stage and socially distanced. X-Bar, they made like this fish bowl. I don't know how else to describe it, like a fish tank that you had to perform in that was like plexiglass.
Oh my God.
Enclosed so that they could socially distance enough. These were wild times in our lives. And
wow. Yeah.
We're going to look back on this someday and be like, wow, we survived that. And that was wild.
So since then, you've transitioned. You're a drag king, very well known in Denver, I have to say.
Thank you.
You're a photographer now, and
which is fresh. But...
in a lovely marriage. Talk to me about that.
We originally actually met back in like 2018, around then. When
wow,
I think first time, it was 2018. They were performing at X-Bar in the Kylie Michaels show, which was called Queer Church.
Oh my God.
I spent a lot of time going to Queer Church.
Wow.
And we kind of like saw each other from afar, and we were in different spaces in our lives and different relationships at the time. Then COVID happens. He was still dancing and touring with Cleo Parker Robinson. I was still working every day with a security company. So I was like out at dispensaries every day working or training people in a classroom.
Yeah.
And our go-to bar that was closest for both of us was Trax. So we kept running each other over and over and over. And the person that I was in a relationship with at the time was Polly. And they were like, you should go talk to them.
Oh my God.
And so I did. And, you know, I then went back to that other and was like, I think I'm going to just pursue this way. And they're like, that's fine. Because I'm also about to just go pursue over here.
Oh, wow.
And they're still with that same partner that we separated ways for.
So you both made a good choice.
Healthy relationships, healthy polyamory.
And that's called communication.
Yep.
Yeah.
And boundaries and all the right things. And, they're doing fine. We're doing fine.
And just like that.
Yeah. We just kind of hit it off. Yeah.
And this is also a very popular Denverite.
Juicy misdemeanor. So. Do you remember Lacey Fox Vanderpump?
I think.
She and Juicy had a show together. We're hanging out. And I had a barbecue at my house during COVID. So we had to minimize how many people we had over.
For sure.
With a bunch of other trans people. We all lived in the same house.
Yeah.
And we were trying to convince Lacey and Juicy to come over because another drag king had a huge crush on Lacey. I had a huge crush on Juicy. And somehow we convinced them to come over to the house and we were grilling and hanging out.
Oh,
and
God.
I was like, well, it's getting late. Do you want to stay the night? And they're like, well, I'm still in drag. And I was like, well, that's fine. I also do drag. Here's some makeup wipes.
Oh my God. Actually,
something to change into.
Where is this rom-com?
And they stayed at my house, and then the next morning I made breakfast.
And the rest was written.
And the rest is history.
I love that.
All it took was cooking one meal, I guess.
Oh my God. I love.
Mm-hmm.
So we're nearing the time where we have to play Sip, Save, or Spill. I don't know that you know this, but on my show, we end every episode with picking 3 questions, one from each of these jars.
Okay.
They're varying levels of depth.
Okay.
So Sip is very light.
Mm-hmm.
Saver's waist deep, I say. And then Spill, we're going on a deep dive.
Let's do it.
But before we do the jars, I have to catch everyone up to how we came to reconnect recently.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, there was a time before, which happened while I was writing this book, but I don't know if you remember.
Probably not.
Probably not. Because I was writing this book in 2023.
Okay.
There was an era where I decided I wanted to make a pop song, and so I made a song with Samora Cash.
Oh, Lord.
I know. Which we won't talk about any personalities.
We don't have to spill on that.
We don't. But at the time, I made this record with Samora Cash. We decided to debut it at Hamburger Mary's on her birthday. It was like a birthday party situation.
Okay.
And you were there. And you were sitting with Juicy at the table behind me. And my coat fell off my chair. This is the first time I actually saw you. I was sitting right by the stage because, of course, when we put the song on, I had to go up there, and I was sitting with my friend Drew. My coat fell off. I turned around to pick up my coat. You picked it up for me. And you're like, oh, here you go. And I looked at you, but I hadn't seen you since 2008.
Right.
So I was like, oh, thanks.
A few things have changed.
But I turned to Drew and I was like, I know that guy. And Drew's like, well, did you hook up with him? And I was like, no, it's not that kind of, which is usually how I am telling Drew, I think I know that guy. But I was like, no, that's the thing that's weirding me out. I don't know how I know him, but I know him. And maybe a couple months later, that was when I think I saw something about you on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, everything's clicking for me. Everything is clicking for me. I was like, oh my God. Wrote that in the book, then I really didn't think much about it after that, because when I was in the book, it was really divine timing, because around that time I was probably writing about being 16, and then I
Mhm.
saw you, had that revelation, wrote the book, and moved on. But then I saw you on Instagram more recently.
Mhm.
That's when I wrote to you recently, and I was like,
Yeah.
I
Did you
should
go to this church?
yeah, I was like, I should see if he remembers me.
And I was like, oh my God, yeah. And
Yeah.
that was when I pulled up the photo.
And that's when he pulled up the photo. Again, go see it on Cameron Show Pod and our recreation of the photo, because then when we actually first saw each other in person after this was a couple weeks ago. I did my drag with Carmen, Get It
Mhm.
Crystals, my drag foster mom, not mom. And coincidentally, I went to X Bar and ran into you for the first time in almost 20 years. And
Mhm.
we're like, oh my God, this is crazy. You're running into me dressed as a woman.
Yep.
I was dressed up as Miss Ceviche. And that's when you were like, do you want to catch up now or on the show? And I'm like, let's catch up on the
And I
show.
was like, perfect.
But we did manage to recreate our Pentecostal summer camp picture, which is, you know what? Close the loop. That's called Full Circle, babes.
Mhm.
And we love to see it. And I'm so happy you're here.
I'm
And
happy
thank
to be
you for
here.
coming and sharing all of that.
Yeah.
I did ask before, as I always do, is there anything off limits? And you said no.
No, I think it's important, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
I probably could move around in my life as someone
totally.
who's entirely stealth. I have. We
Yeah.
actually had to reschedule this because my work threw some craziness on my schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had to prep for a visit from Health and Human Services. Specifically, it was because of RFK Jr. coming to my work. None of him or his team clocked me as someone who they are targeting in this entire agency right now.
What?
That's so I could go about my life and just not be clocked. I could
Right.
just pass and be
Totally.
stealth. But I think it's important to share trans experience. I think it's important to
Yes.
be open about who I am and to share that with people, because it makes it more personal.
Yeah.
It makes it no longer just, oh, the trans that are out there. It's, oh, I know a trans person. I've talked with them. That's just another person in my life, and they're honest, they're genuine. I felt comfortable with them.
1000%.
That's why I'm like, I am the open book that I am about this.
Yeah. Well, you're probably a lot like me. Like, for me, especially the older that I get, like nearing my mid 30s, and before you know it, it'll be my late 30s and my 40s. And I'm always thinking about, you know what, when I was that kid at New Beginnings, when I saw someone living their life, even if it was only for a moment that I encountered them or saw them on TV or saw them walking down the street, it was just the glimmer that I needed to get through the day, that day. And if I can now be the glimmer for some kid who's figuring it out, especially if they're in an environment like we were in, great, then I will do it. And we are, relatively privileged, where you're right, you could pass. I really, as a cis white presenting man, very privileged, I don't have to talk about gay stuff, and I could be one of those gays that I can't stand, who's like, I'm gay, but I'm not
that
I'm
gay.
not part of this. I hate the scene, whatever. But I think that's so
But they're
great.
the ones that always come out for Pride Weekend.
Oh yeah, they're the ones being the most obnoxious during Pride Weekend. That's actually half the beef I have with Pride Weekend. I talk a lot of shit about Pride, but it's actually not the concept of Pride. It's the way that people abuse Pride and capitalize on it. Like, it's the same as Valentine's Day and Christmas. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But I think that's great. And I think that I am obsessed with how you live out loud. And could I have guessed that we would be sitting here 18 years ago?
Hell no.
Hell no. And this is one of those moments where I'm like, kids, it gets better.
It does.
Here we are. We are living proof.
Yep.
We could have never had this conversation at a different point in our lives.
No.
It would have been impossible to even conceptualize.
I wouldn't have even had the vocabulary.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we could not even fathom the existence of our own selves. It's so crazy, but I love it. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Now let's play Sip, Save, or Spill.
All right.
Now we can do whatever order you want. We'll both answer the questions.
Okay.
So if you need time to think about your answer, it's okay. I can answer. So which order do you want to go in? Some people like to, ease their way in. Some people like to dive in and then ease their way out. What do you want to do?
We'll ease in and save the best for last.
Okay, great. So here's our sip jar. Pick a question and please read it for our friends at home. Oh God, is it my terrible handwriting?
It's horrible handwriting.
Oh my God, this is not even the right thing. This is
like what?
the name Maitri, because these are pieces of paper.
I was like,
from our live show. Oh my God, this is so funny. Oh, this actually is so cute. These are names that people wrote. Oh, because we were using this jar.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so at our live show, I had people write their names. You know what? We're not going to do a sip question today.
All right.
We took the sip questions out. Let's do 2 savers and a spill.
Let's do it.
That is so funny. Maitri, you get a little shout out today, girl.
Okay. What do you think people misunderstand about you the most?
I would love to know your answer to this if you have an immediate answer.
Ooh. What do you think people most understand about you the most? I think that people probably look at me. Well, the mustache is new, but
yeah,
like probably just look at me and like, oh, that's another just like cis gay guy. A lot.
Oh, yeah.
And to not know the other intersectionalities of my life and the things that I've like what we've talked about on the show, the things that I've gone through to get to this point in my life.
Yeah.
Someone who is a trans disabled veteran in an interracial queer relationship.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And how much it took to get to where I am now. So yeah, I think that is a great answer, because even I, before we started this interview, didn't know most of that. I knew about the interracial relationship. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
And trans, obviously. I had no idea about the military time, the disability, and that shit is no joke. Because I have worked a lot with veterans, so I know how that rating system works. 80% is a big deal.
Yeah.
If you can get an 80% rating, that means you are showing up with some receipts.
Yes.
Yeah. There is
and entirely service connected, which means that everything happened while I was in the military.
Yeah,
so.
That is a big deal. Okay, that's a great question. I would say for me,
yeah.
The thing that people, I think I've answered this before, but I'm a lot more introverted than people think.
They probably just assume that because you do
I have the Cameron show, that this is what I'm like all the time. It's what I'm like quite often. I am always nosy. But usually these conversations are happening with just us, like now, but like, without cameras, and it's just like a dinner thing. But I also think that people probably think I am, I don't know the way to say this. I would say people probably think I'm a lot more of a diva than I am. I'm really not that much. A lot of people who kind of know me think that I am like really high maintenance and a diva, but I'm actually quite not. That's what I would say.
All right.
Okay, great. Well, that was now our sip question, because we didn't really have any. I feel like
that was
questions.
Just a little sip.
That honestly was a sip. Let's see if this next savor question is a little more savory.
Besides communication, what's the key to a successful friendship or relationship?
Okay, I would love to know this, because we just talked about how communication was very important.
It is. You know what? It's kind of weird, but people do, like, because Juicy and I's relationship is so public and prominent because of who we are in the community.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people have like randomly come up to me at the bar and they're like, how do you make it work? Like, what is it that makes your relationship so successful? And I would say communication is a big piece of that. I think that like making time for each other intentionally is extremely important, because especially we have such busyness that goes on, especially this month during Pride.
Oh, hell yeah.
Is insanity. But like always making time to spend some time with each other, have a meal, communicate. Like you have to communicate to make those things happen. So I hate to be cliche and more than just communication, but communication, I would say, and
intentionality.
intentionality, like
Because
being
everyone needs
purposeful.
to feel special. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a great answer. I think
Intentionality, like plan a date,
that's that part. And
buy
that's more than
flowers,
just
not just because it's
communicating.
Valentine's Day, but buy flowers just because they like flowers.
Yeah.
If they don't like flowers, what is it that they do enjoy is something that you can just like spontaneously get and intentionally make their day better.
Yeah, sometimes it's not saying anything. It's just like making time to watch their show with them
Or, hey,
on
I know you're
TV.
having a really stressful day today. I'm just going to send you stupid, cute little memes
Yeah.
throughout the day.
Yeah, exactly. It's just thinking of them.
Mhm.
I think that is such a good answer. I don't think I would have thought of that, but I love that answer more than my own answer. My answer is vulnerability and letting someone see. And that's probably just because it's me projecting, because this is like the hardest thing for me to do in friendships, romantically, in any sense, is I think it's so important, and I'm still working on it, to let people see you when you don't feel at your best. But I think like it's important, if you want to have a successful friendship or a meaningful friendship or relationship, that you let someone see you need help, or you let someone see you when you're not happy, or you let someone see you when you're confused, or you let someone give you advice and actually consider it, which is I have a very hard time doing. I don't like to I've never asked for advice. I hate when people give me advice, but I think that it's a really important thing, and it kind of goes with communicating, but like honestly just letting yourself be really seen. And I think anyone would agree, if you've ever dated someone or been friends with someone who won't let you see them in that way, it impacts your friendship, because you're like, okay, well, are we really in this or not? You know what I mean? But I love intentionality.
Yeah.
That's romantic. I mean, friends, that's important too. You should be intentional with your friends.
You should make time for your friends, check in on them, make sure that they're doing okay. Like, if you know they're struggling, like, supporting them, going out and like when they have things that are going on, that you can be there for them and share moments with them.
Yeah.
Those are part of intentionality as well.
1000%. Oh, okay. I love that question. Let's do a spill.
We spill now.
A deep dive. Oh God, I'm running out. Well, I only have one more episode to film this season. I shouldn't say that because these are out of order, but what is our spill question today?
That one's too cliche for this episode.
Oh, don't do a cliche one.
It is. What's something you're still healing from?
Oh my God. What are you going to pick? Which are you going to pick? You could do physically healing from.
I know.
You could do emotionally, spiritually, financially, mentally. There's so many ways we are all healing. You have a lot of angles you could answer this from.
You know, I'd say that I will always be healing. I think that we always have ways that we can grow and become better versions of ourselves. So something I'm healing from, still healing from, still. I'm going to ponder a little bit on it.
Okay, I'll answer it. In the theme of today's episode, I could easily say I'm still healing from the New Beginnings, the stuff. But the truth is, I really actually feel like, for the most part, I've healed from that specific thing. I think sometimes I still struggle because I have, if anything, it's that sometimes I'm confused by how much empathy I actually have for people in that church now. It's actually sometimes weirds me out how much I actually don't resent them, because I resented it for so long. Like, I'm just going to be honest, Tony and Shar, for a long time, I really resented them because the stuff that they told us really confused me about who I was. And it really confused me about whether I was making a choice. I mean, and it wasn't just them. Like, one time, I also wrote about this. Weto's sister, he had an older sister named Nicole. I don't know if you knew her. But she found out that this conference was coming to town. And they were like, if you are a young gay person, we want to bring you all together, and we want to prove to you that you can still have God in your life. And she was like, oh my God, Cameron, I'm going to get us tickets to this if you want to go. But it sounds like what they're trying to do is say, like, you can be gay, but you can still be a Christian. And I'm like, oh, that sounds good.
Culty.
Yeah. Now I look back on it and I'm like, alert, alert, abort, abort. Don't go to that. But I agreed to go. And then I did the research. And this organization was called Love One Out. It does not exist anymore, but it was like a branch of Exodus International, which is conversion therapy. And I had to tell her, I'm not going to that. You have to be out of your fucking mind. But it's another instance where I really believe her intentions were good. She believed that this was like a benevolent group who's trying to help you, because in her mind,
you needed help.
I needed help. Like, the most important thing is your relationship with God. And so in her mind, she's like, this group is especially made to help people like you. And she believed that. And now I can look back on it and be like, you poor thing. You really thought you were being helpful. Sometimes that weirds me out. And in that way, I guess I'm still healing from it, which sounds very backwards. But sometimes I still think about that. And I will say, sometimes I think, like, I'm healing from the fact that I even had to do that. I even had to think about shit like that. Sometimes I think about, I mean, I'm sure you can relate to this. Some people just got to be teenagers and, like, date people.
Yeah. Did not get that. I wasn't allowed to date. I wasn't allowed to,
you get this. Like, besides the fact that we were queer, being in that religious space meant that we weren't allowed to do. And in some ways that made it easier for me at the time. I also write that in the book. Like, I'll admit, I used it to my advantage to be like, I'm not celibate and a virgin and not dating anyone because I'm gay. I'm a celibate and a virgin and not dating anyone because I'm a good Christian. But also that's so damaging. And I feel like in a lot of ways I had to wait till my 20s to be a teenager.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure you do.
Oh, I did.
Oh, yeah. In many ways. And so I guess that's something I'm still healing from, is that sometimes I still feel like I'm behind other people who didn't even have to think about this kind of shit.
I guess I got lucky. I got to be a teenager twice.
Yeah.
Not so much for, the puberty piece of things, but I mean, I did.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So that would be my answer.
I would say it is a lot of, I am going to always continually be trying to be healing from not just the church, but just the religious and conservative upbringing that I had in general.
Yeah.
Were you in the youth group when we went to the Hell House?
Oh my God, no, but I would love to hear your account of this, because I've talked about the Hell House, but I didn't go.
It was traumatizing. I'm not, like, for someone who's, I think, maybe 12, 13, 14 years old.
Yes.
So if you don't know what a Hell House is essentially like the uber MAGA Christian white nationalists' way of doing their own haunted house, but without the devil.
Yeah. Around Halloween time, they would put on these,
like, it's not satanic. So it's like a production, and it's like different rooms, just like when you're going through a haunted house, like different staged rooms, but each of those staged rooms was different atrocities and sins that would lead you to hell. And then, you go through all these different rooms that's leading you to hell. You go to a room that's supposed to be like the scariest, that's hell. And then immediately after that is this bright white and blue room with clouds and Jesus. And they have insane. You like get saved right there.
And this is stuff they took kids to.
Yes, children.
And like in one room, there's like
a we're indoctrinating
happening.
But we're doing the indoctrination.
We're groomers. There's like a gay marriage in one room. There's like an abortion happening in another room.
And they were literally like taking chunks of like jelly pieces out of a person. And I'm like,
can't believe to this day I can't.
And human sacrifice, of course, because
they might still do it.
It's closed.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I looked it up at one point.
Oh my God.
Because I work at a haunted house. I do special effects makeup for I told you, jack of all trades, master, and
I love
paid
that.
for some. But I do special effects makeup for the Haunted Field of Screams.
Oh my God.
I have for the past several years. I love it up there. But I was trying to look it up because I was like, wow, how full circle for me to have one of the most traumatizing experiences having gone through that Hell House thing to now be someone that scares the crap out of people.
Oh my God. Yeah, I never went to that. And
You're
I
lucky you
actually
did.
find it so interesting.
Still healing.
Yeah, I would be healing from that too, because I don't even like that kids from our church went to that. I mean, I don't like that you went to that.
Yeah, I would never.
I think Watto went to that. I think that's how I knew about it.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Did Jennifer go?
Jennifer might have. Jennifer also stayed at that church longer than I did. She didn't want to leave just because I did, and that's totally fine and fair. Yeah, and like
we all ended up leaving eventually.
But they all ended up leaving eventually. I don't know of anyone who still goes there from our youth group. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, we did it.
Woo!
We sipped. No, we didn't. We actually savored. We savored some more, and we spilled. And we had a great episode. If our friends at home just can't get enough of you, where can they go find you and follow you?
I have 2 Instagrams.
Okay.
So I have Kaptain Inherpants. That's Kaptain Inherpants Inherpants.
Is it all one word?
All one word.
Okay.
And then I also have Captain's Camera, which is my newer photography business.
Follow that.
It's Captains_Camera, both with a K.
Which I love to see.
Near and dear to your heart.
Yeah. Kamera. I love that. Okay, great. So everyone go follow Kaptain on both accounts. What kind of photography do you do? Do you do like portraits, events? What do you?
Events, portrait. I do all the photography for X-Bar currently.
Oh my God. Okay, well, great. So now you know.
Come see me on the patio, get some photos.
Yeah.
Those ones are paid for by X-Bar.
Trust me, you will run into him at X-Bar. Just ask Ceviche.
I practically live there, I feel like, sometimes.
Yeah. You are entrenched in our community, but you know what? I love that. It brought us back together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entrenched in the community, and all I had to do was stick one toe in and I ran into you. So that's great. What would you like to leave a message with our friends at home today before we log off?
Ooh.
Your message to the world.
My message to the world. Always keep learning, always keep growing, always keep improving yourself.
Yeah.
And by doing so, you also need to take care of those around you.
That part.
And just share a little love.
Yeah.
You don't even have to love to just be kind and have some empathy.
And I feel like I'm always saying this, but especially now.
That was just one piece. That was like 6 pieces.
Yeah.
It's like
just here's a laundry list of things to do. But it all comes down to just be a good person. And again, I say it all the time, but like now more than ever.
And you can be a good person and know right from wrong without a cult having to tell you what it is.
Yeah, and you can be a good person and have boundaries and know what's right for you. And we are 2 living examples.
We sure are.
I'm going to call this episode New Beginnings.
Yes. Oh my God. How many times did you misspell New Beginnings?
Oh God.
Specifically the beginnings part.
All the time.
I know.
Well, friends, thank you so much for joining us today. As always, live your best life. Don't be a dick. I love you. Goodbye.